So what's going on guys, Kate is here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the top 10 hardest monsters, bosses and magic beasts in Hogwarts Legacy. So as the game hasn't come out yet, one of the best ways to get the best experience possible and a way to improve already is by learning as much as you can about Hogwarts Legacy. And the best way to do it is by learning what enemies and monsters you can expect to see, and then what are their strengths and weaknesses and much more. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So I have split this video into two parts. In the first part I will introduce you to every single monster and creature in Hogwarts Legacy, and then in the second part I will rank all the hardest and best monsters by their unique magic, special abilities and how much damage they can do and much more. So then with that said, one of the most exciting creatures that you will encounter in Hogwarts Legacy are the dragons. Although they are as dangerous as beautiful. These giant lizards can fly and breathe fire, making them a big threat in the air and on the ground. It is still unknown if players will be able to mount dragons, as they will with hippogriffs, but we know for sure that we will be able to fight them. The biggest weakness and strength for the dragons is their magic fire, which means that they can only breathe fire for a few seconds, and then it will take time to recharge. So whenever the dragon stops breathing fire, then now is the time for your attack. So then the second monsters are the centaurs, and they are magical creatures that have a human torso and a head, but a horse-lover body. They can be seen in the Forbidden Forest near Hogwarts Castle. Unlike most creatures, centaurs possesses a human intelligence and can communicate with wizards without a problem. However, they are still classified as a beast by the British Ministry of Magic. And then lastly, centaurs know a lot of valuable skills like archery, healing magic, divination and astronomy. So when you're fighting them, expect your enemy to be changing from range to melee weapons constantly. Then the next creature are the trolls. These monsters are giant-like magical beasts that possesses incredible strength but are as bright as a rock. The trolls aren't friendly and we know that players will have at least one encounter with them, but be careful, as they also love to use blunt weapons to deal damage. The biggest weakness for trolls is their slow speed but high damage, so it will be pretty easy to escape his shots, and if you keep on dodging then the troll won't be able to damage you even once. Then the next ones are the graphorns, and these are aggressive and dangerous magical beasts that have a pair of horns that can be used in certain potions. Despite their aggressive nature, players seem to be able to tame graphorns in Hogwarts Legacy and even have them inside the sanctuary, in the room of requirements. So I expect that we will get a quest where we will be able to fight him and then make him to submit to us, so then we could use him as a pet or companion. Then the next one is the mooncalf. Mooncalves are adorable beasts that only come out during a full moon and perform complicated dance moves that create a crop circle. Wizards can use mooncalf dung as a fertilizer to make the magical plants grow faster. Mostly these monsters are unharmful and you will be able to use them for alchemy, to grow plants and then make potions. Then for the next creature we have the hippogriff, and this is a striking creature with a build similar to a horse, but with wings, head and the talons of an eagle. Much like Harry Potter himself, players will be able to use this hippogriff to fly across the map and take in the sights, although it's unclear if this is a late game ability or an option available from the start. Then for the seventh creature we have the house elves. These beings are imperative part of the Harry Potter story, from Dobby trying to save Harry in the Chamber of the Secrets, to Creature coming around being a valued friend of Harry and his friends. Not only that, but since Helga Hufflepuff brought them to Hogwarts centuries ago, house elves have been the cleaners, the cooks and much more in the castle. So be ready to interact with these elves in your Hogwarts Legacy adventure. So then moving over to the next one, which is the acromantula. These beasts are giant spiders designed to guard secret houses or treasure. You will want to avoid acromantula at all costs, as they have particular taste for human flesh. To make matters worse, they can grow to terrifying size, like the legendary Aragog found in the Forbidden Forest. The trailers so far have only revealed smaller acromantulas running around as common enemies, but don't be surprised to see a much larger version tucked away as a boss fight. Then for the next one we have the whoopers, and they may not be well known among fans, but these creatures been featured heavily across the wizarding world. One of these colorful birds was found in the front of the window of the magical Miniger in the Diagon Alley, and their feathers are used as quills. While they look harmless when they first hatch, a whooper song can actually drive the listener to insanity. Then for one of the last monsters we have the niffler. These are adorable little beings first seen in the Fantastic Beasts movies. They are skilled trackers who use their long snouts to sniff out and hoard treasure, but as well have been known to cause a little chaos when let loose indoors. Hogwarts Legacy appears to let you keep your own niffler as a fluffy companion, and on top of all of this, you can even brush them, which means that this creature will take the role of your personal house pet. Then for the next one we have the thestrals, and these are horses with wings that can only be seen by those who have witnessed someone dying at least once. Not only you will be able to interact with them in the Hogwarts Legacy, but if you pre-order the game, then you will get this creature as an available mount. So then taking a closer look at the next monster, which are these toad-like creatures. The name of this beast is still unknown for the moment, but we know that you will encounter these giant toads that seem to be corrupted with unknown dark magic. These creatures are the strongest near water and can shoot slimy projectiles, which then if you get hit will drastically slow you down. These creatures are not the hardest enemy, but be careful because fighting them more than one at a time may prove very difficult, as the magic they use can impact your damage and speed. Then for the next one we have the horklump, and this is a magical beast which resembles a fleshy pink mushroom, covered in a sparse coarsely black bristle. Despite its appearance, it was not a plant or fungus but an animal, and it hasn't been seen for many decades now, so players will be able to undiscover new secrets and plant-like animals in Hogwarts. Then moving over to the next creature, which is the kneazle, and this beast bears more than just a resemblance to cats. They are also intelligent, independent, and can even be used to breed with them. This is another house cat type of creature that can be tamed and used to guard your room and the secrets that you protect. So then for the next creature we have the goblins, and these monsters you will be able to find across the whole wizard universe. The main storyline in Hogwarts Legacy will be to stop the Goblin Rebellion, so expect that goblins will be your main enemies. These creatures are in similar size with dwarves, but they're a lot smarter and more devious, and similar to humans, some goblins have the access to magic, so when you see a goblin use his defensive bubble spell, then now switch to the another target, and then when that defensive spell expires, then switch back to the previous goblin, and then now is the time to do damage. Then for the next one we have the inferi. These creatures are corpses that have been resurrected with a dark wizard's curse. They will answer to the wizard that casted the curse, and these monsters can be made to do various tasks, such as causing harm or even eliminating others. But the biggest weakness of this creature is fire, so don't forget to mainly use fire spells to eliminate these creatures super easily. And then for the last and final creature we have the human wizards. These creatures you will constantly meet in your quests, and you will have to fight them. There are two types of humans. The first ones are just normal humans/wizards with magical abilities, and some spells won't work that good on humans as on other monsters. And then the second category are the corrupted humans, whose eyes will be white or they may wear similar clothing to other monsters. Normal humans and the other students you will be able to fight normally, while the corrupted humans will only use dark magic, and you will do a lot less damage if you just use basic skills on them. Like you can see from the gameplay, every human is a wizard and can cast offensive and defensive spells, so this will be one of your hardest enemies to beat. The biggest weakness for humans is their desire to be the best, so I recommend to mainly use defensive skills at the start of the fight and allow the other human to use all of his main spells, and then when he's done, then come out of the defensive and then use a stun, and then your main damage skills, and this should finish off your enemy super quickly, and that's about it. So then moving over to the last part, in which I will rank the top 10 hardest and worst enemies that you will have to fight in Hogwarts Legacy. In the previous part, we looked into each monster separately, so if you're looking for in-depth information for every creature, then watch again the previous part. But with that said, here's the tier list. At the number 1 we have the hardest enemies, and then at number 10 we have the easiest. So dragons are number 1. They will breathe fire and can damage multiple targets at once, but it will take time for them to charge back their fire. Then in number 2 we have wizards/humans, which are the other students and other villains, who the same as you will be able to use magic. So against humans, the best attack is to defend at the start of the fight, and then release your main damage skills. Then at number 3 we have the acromantula. These creatures will be huge spiders that will use darkness and shadows as their friend. Then at number 4 we have the goblins, and these creatures will be the main villain of this game's story. They are small but will be able to use magic as well. Then at number 5 we have the centaurs. These creatures are half human, half horse, so they will have incredible speed while also having the ability to use range and melee weapons. Then the next one is the trolls, and these are giant monsters that are very slow but have very high damage. Your main strength against them is to keep moving and never stay still for too long. Then in number 7 we have the inferi. These will be one of the more common enemies that are the undead corpses of the fallen soldiers, but their weakness is fire, so be sure to group them up and then use your fire spells. Then for one of the last ones we have the graphorns, and these are aggressive and magical beasts that have a pair of horns that can be used in certain potions. Then in number 9 we have the magic toad that will shoot slimes, which can potentially slow your movement, so watch out. And then at number 10 we have the whooper. They will look harmless when they first hatch, but a whooper song can actually drive the listener to insanity. So I assume that in open world we will have to stay away from them, and as long as we don't annoy them, we won't have to fight them, and that's about it. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good Hogwarts Legacy guides that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I will see you in my next video, so take it easy, peace.